All right. So in the last lecture, we left off over here. We left off making a query into our database, which returns all of this data that's going to be used for our new arrivals feature. Obviously, we don't want it to be displayed like this. We want it to be displayed in a card format. Let me show you the way I plan on doing this. So I'm going to go over here and sign in as Jane Doe, which she is the administrator. Okay. All right, so here's our products. All right, so we're going to display on the front end similar to this here. All right, but there's going to be a difference in the card, and that difference is going to be the types of buttons that's going to be displayed. Here in the admin dashboard, it makes sense that we have button to edit the product and like delete the product as the administrator. However, on the front end, on the home page, the user's not going to have these buttons displayed to them, right? Instead, what we want to do is we're going to have two buttons, but one button is going to be for viewing a product, like viewing the product for further detail, and then the other one's going to be for adding product to add product to the basket, or like, yeah, adding the product to the basket or adding to the cart. I'm sorry, that's the word I was looking for. Add to cart button. All right, so that's gonna be how I plan on doing it on the front end. All right, so let me log out here from the admin dashboard, go to the home page. All right, so let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is import cart component to display the product. All right, so going here to the home page, we're going to import that cart component. Actually, let me do it up here. Oh, up here. Import card from, let's see, right here. All right, so now we have access to the card component. Let's see. Another thing I'm gonna do is I want to display the loading feature. So before these, when we make this API request, it could take some time. So I want to have the loading icon show before or during that time to show the user that something's occurring, you know. Okay, so let's see. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is, let's see. All right, so right below, let me do it here. All right, so import show loading from let me open this up. Let's see, it was inside the helpers function here. What was it called? Yes, show loading. All right, show loading, that's what it was called inside the helpers. Go back. Okay, let me see. No, right here. All right, show loading, and that's inside. Got to go back one directory, got to go into the helpers, and then that was the loadings file. All right, so we have the function. Now I want to grab, let's see, the selector. All right, in the Redux store, the state. I'm gonna all right, so I'm gonna paste this here in state loading. Let me double check too for this. Let's see here. If I go to open up my Redux, go to my store, what was it called? It was called loading. All right, it's called loading. All right, so this is correct. So state loading, and what I want to pull from there is the loading prop. Okay, so that's that. Next is, all right, so let me delete this here, and below the banner, what I'm doing is I'm gonna see if loading, then do something, otherwise do something else. Now, if it's loading, what I want to do is I want to display a div tag with a class name of, do a text center, and here inside the div I'm going to call my method for show loading. Otherwise, if we get to this else block, then that means we're done loading, so now we can display our products. Alright, so the first thing here I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a fragment here, just like that, and I'm going to display a div, and this outer div container is going to be a class name of container. Let's see, here I would have I'm going to have an h3 tag. Here I'll say new arrivals. Save that. Let me see what we have so far. Alright, so you see we have new arrivals header tag. I'm going to add some padding here. Class name, do py for top and bottom let's do py3. Let me see what this gives me. Or let me do 5. Alright, that's better. Okay. Alright, so now after the header, I'm going to add another div. And here I'm going to do a class name of row. And within this row is where I'm going to map over all of our new arrivals that's stored here. So what I'm going to do, if new arrivals, then new arrivals dot map, and call each individual new arrival a new arrival. Okay, and then here is what I'm gonna do is this is where I'm gonna call our card component and pass in. We're gonna need our key, which I'll give it the value of new arrival dot underscore ID, and for the product it'll be the new arrival, just like so. Let's take a look. All right, so here you go. Actually, you know what, let me change up that padding, reduce it from 5 to 4. All right, that's better. All right, so as I mentioned, because we are reusing this card component, you can see that that card component is using these two buttons, which are the same buttons that we use in the admin dashboard. But obviously this is the home page for the user, and they have no need to see these buttons here. These buttons are strictly for the administrator. So we have to change that up. And the way we're going to do that is, all right, first of all, mark this off because we imported the card component to display the product. So I'm going to mark this off. So we're going to have to update the card component. Okay. So let me close this up. So the way we're going to do that is, let's see here. All right, so let me go to collapse some folders here. Open up my card component. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add two additional arguments here. The first one is let me do for admin page, and by default it's going to be false. And I'm also going to do home page. By default it's going to be false. Okay. And then going down into our card component, we have our button and our link, which is actually displaying what you saw earlier, which is this edit and this delete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around some conditions. All right, so this condition is saying that if admin page, then we want to, let me add React fragments here. We want to display this button and link. So I'm going to copy that and then delete it from where it was originally and paste that inside our condition, just like so. So I saved it, and if I go now to our home page, now you see that the buttons disappear. But now look, if I sign in now, and I'm going to sign in as the administrator again, which is, again, her name is Jane Doe. I'm going to sign in as Jane Doe. You're going to see it's also missing from here, which I told you that as an admin, as an admin, I mean, we would expect that the edit and delete button would be here, but we have another part we have to add to this, right? But we do have the condition because also here in the card component at the top, I'm saying that initially by default the admin page is false. But in order to make this true, to make this true and display those two buttons for the admin, we have to go to the admin body, which is where those inside our admin dashboard where this is displayed. We have to add here into the admin body. You see this is where we're actually making use of the card component. We have to add another property or argument to it, or property to it. And I have to do admin page equals true. Ooh, right there we go, true. So by adding this property here, admin page, and make it equal to true, now it's going to override that default value, which was false over here. And now you see here in the admin dashboard, it's making use of those two buttons. Okay, but now if I log out of the admin dashboard, I'm going to log out, go to the home page, and but those two buttons are missing from here, which is okay. But we want to add different buttons. We want to reuse the card component, but use a different buttons. So the way we're gonna do that is, let's see here. All right, so going back to this card component, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy all this here. The portion that we use for the admin page, the condition for that, I'm going to go below it and paste that here, save to just reformat the page. And then what I'm going to do here is, instead of the admin page, I'm going to call it home page. So if home page, then display this link and button. But instead of this edit, I'm going to call it view product. I'm calling it view product. And then for the button, I'm going to call it add to cart. And we're not going to use this on click. I'm going to remove this for now. Remove the on click for now. We don't need that now. Let's see here. And for now, I'm going to remove everything for the link. Just add a hashtag. It's just a placeholder for now. Oops, actually, let me just like that. There we go. Okay, so let's see where we're at. All right, so it's still not showing because we have to go to where that card component is being called at, which is here in the home page or the home component. You see, this is where we're calling the card component. We're using it, and then we have to add that extra property and call it, do home page, make it equal to true. And if I save that, go back, you see, now we get these two buttons, view product and add to cart. Okay. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to change the colors of these two buttons. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, going to, yes. All right. So going to the cart component. So if its home page is displaying us these two buttons, the button and the link here, but I'm going to go here to change this from secondary color to primary. And then for the add to cart, I'm going to change that from button danger to button warning, which is like a yellow color. And if I go back, all right, now there you go. So now we have a view product. Now we change the color. And if I collapse, there you go. You see? And look, I can even show you that it's still, that you see that if we go back, look at these buttons here, they're going to be different when we go to the admin dashboard. I'm going to sign in again as the administrator, which is Jane Doe. Sign in as her, and we still get our correct one in the admin dashboard, which is the edit and delete. Okay, going back. All right, so now we have our new arrivals being displayed, not just as that JSON data that I showed you earlier, but now it's nicely being shown to us as in the cart, using the cart component that we created earlier. It's also, as I mentioned, the purpose of new arrivals is to show us the most based on the most recent products. And this is exactly from left to right. This pasta's carbonara was the most recent, and this veggie burger was the second most recent, and then the turkey burger was the third, or the third most recent. So it's just like that, and it's also limited to 3. So that's, it's not going to show in this row here for the new arrivals. We're not going to be displaying it's going to display no more than 3 products for new arrivals, or the 3 most recent products. And look, let me actually show you. So as I said, this is the most recent one, pasta carbonara, and then veggie burger is the next one. So if I go to the database, so these are the products, all 3 products. So here, this is pasta carbonara, and if you look at the date here, so this is the March 24th of 21, and then the veggie burger, which is also March 24th of 21. So they're the same date, but we have to pay attention to the time. So for the pasta carbonara, it's showing us 21/17/08, and then for this one is 21/16/45. So this one was created 1 minute after this one, the veggie burger. All right, so this was the most recent one. And then here, the last one, the turkey burger, was created on 2020. So that was actually the previous year. So you see, it's actually being displayed to us in order. So pasta was the most recent, this is the second most recent, and then turkey burger, the last one. And that's exactly how the new arrivals is being displayed to us: pasta carbonara, veggie burger, and then the turkey burger. And then if as the administrator, if I was to add something else and create a new product, well, it would be the next it would be the new most recent product. So in that case, essentially that new product would shift here, be displayed here to the left, and then the pasta carbonara would be the second one, and then the veggie burger would be the third one, and turkey burger, you would not see it. Okay, so there you go. Here's our new arrivals feature, and there you go.